seem to make a lot more sense than what I see ahead of us, yeah. My sister, when she was in elementary school, when they did their like musical play things, she would teach me the entire script and songs of the play, and we used to like perform them as two people. We were always like really musical, and I would see her sing a lot. And then when she started taking singing lessons, we both actually started with Indian music. We started with Indian classical music, and so every time she sang those, I would also learn those songs. And then I started actually learning in 3rd grade. The thing with Indian classical music, especially in this area, is that it's very competitive. And so it was always really high stakes and high pressure, especially because it's like my parents that wanted me to do it, and it was like a whole family involvement, and I would be practicing for hours a day as an elementary schooler, but then also simultaneously feeling like, oh, I'm like not as good at this as everybody else is, and like I wasn't connecting with it. One thing that I've always tried to do is be pretty versatile. I did start out with a pretty like Indian roots. I found that the skills that I've learned through Indian classical music has helped me with pop music. So like doing more of the riffs and the runs that some people find a little bit more difficult in pop music. So like I feel like those skills have kind of like translated over to that. But then I've also been quite conscious to like listen to artists from every genre that I try to do, and I not exactly try to mimic them, but I try to like do each genre justice.
You, isn't it so exciting? Wanna shake you, wanna break you, take a backseat, boy, cause now I'm driving. Give it up, you can't wait, cause I know.
I really like musical expression in both like classical music and pop music, but in English music, which is like what I kind of like to do more, because I actually know what I'm singing about and I can relate to the things that I'm singing about. I enjoy like the emotions that you can feel through a song, and I enjoy connecting with people like in an audience. Pop music kind of didn't even start out as like I want to go do this, but it was like it would kind of just be something that I did on the side, and like something that was like something I just started doing. And we have Indian classical lessons, but Indian classical teachers don't really care about vocal technique at all. So their kind of idea is like, if you want to sing a high note, you have to scream it, because that's just how you get loud, and like that's the things that they were teaching us. And I just like, both me and my sister, we felt like, okay, like our throats are really hurting every time we sing songs, like this is really tiring. So we started doing vocal lessons, like technique lessons, in order to help with Indian music. But I think both of us just used those to then sing pop music. So when my sister would be in the lessons and stuff, like I would like steal her sheet music and like learn it on the side. And so because it has that like special place in my heart as something that I went after on my own, I think that that's why it's then developed into such a huge part of my life. Because it's like, even though I love classical music, it was almost like pop was like my escape.
This song represents how the expectations that are placed on you by yourself and by others can make you feel like you're all alone and you're in a box and all you want to do is just break free.
I am American, and it's a sound that I hear a lot like around me while growing up. And the type of songs that I usually like to sing are ones with lyrics that I actually enjoy. And I think also just because like it's something that like I know exactly what I'm singing about. it just makes it like a lot easier for me to connect with it.
Because I know someone like that, and it's really annoying. It's like, I remember when we broke up, the first time saying this is it, I've had enough. Because like we hadn't seen each other in a month, when you said you needed space.
What I've been doing more recently is, because my voice has been hurting, is I have a cup with like water in it, like filled halfway, and then I sing into a straw, and I like blow bubbles in the water, and basically like I need to make sure that like there's no like section of air, or there's no time when I'm pushing more air than in other places. Like it's about like really steady exhale. And then also what it does is, because you're forcing all your air through like a really like narrow path, it like relaxes the muscles like in the back of your throat like that. So I do that a lot when like my voice is kind of hurting. For singing Valentine's and stuff like that, so the a cappella things that we do, I usually make some of those arrangements, and then I actually like recently had to learn how to do like vocal arrangements, because I play piano and I like know music theory, but like a lot of it sometimes it's like not even as like applicable when you're doing like more poppy songs. Sometimes you kind of just have to go off of like what sounds good, even though it might not be like, oh, I need it, you like include like these specific chord progressions and things like that. So it's like things I learned on the spot.
Don't let your head get in the way, 'cause it's Christmas, and we start something new. Everyone together sings, 7,000 golden rings. All of it means nothing without you. No, it's not Christmas without you. It's not Christmas without you. It's not you. It's not Christmas without you.
I like sharing music with people. I try not to like post too many because I don't want to annoy anybody, but it's usually just like when I'm singing a song and it's like something that I really like feel, but I really like it, or some reason it's like kind of connecting with me, because I sing songs all the time, like a bunch of different songs, but there are certain songs that's like, wow, like I really want to cover, like to formally cover this one. And so it's like when I post those Instagram covers though, it's like I'll have like 20 or 30 takes of the same thing, and I won't even, like, I don't do things initially with the intention like I'm gonna record a cover for Instagram right now, but it would be like I'm singing a song and it's like, oh, I like this, and it's like, okay, let me take a video of it, and then I just like kind of have to like keep taking it over and over again.
I can promise you that by the time that we get through, the world will never ever be the same.
And then with like my own personal covers, I like to put in certain elements of my own singing and my own style that I'm kind of doing there, for multiple reasons. One, because like if like I feel like there's no point in trying to sound like the person that's singing the track, because you're never gonna sound like the person that's singing the track. So I would rather just sound like myself singing somebody else's song, rather than me trying to like pretend to be a certain singer, and because it's just like why would you do it, because it's not going to be as good anyways.
I'm going crazy in this big white room of mine.
Remember, you're not alone. Thank you for letting me break free.
I always feel like music is like my passion, and so I think that continuing with music in like at least some way throughout my life, I'm sure like I would really need that.